Alright, so this was started yesterday when I put new antifreeze in it. So first time for today. This way you can watch all the gauges. Okay, here we're going to test the front lights. So there we have both regular clearance lights. Get you back in the frame. Hopefully you can see that. And there we have the headlights. And the other headlights. So the front turn signal. And the other front turn signal. Okay, from here we'll look at the tail lights. Note that one lens is broken. So we got one driver's turn signal. Passengers turn signal. And all four clearance lights. They do not have brakes working. I'll show you here in a little bit. The brake switch is not hooked up. Of course, on this old system it goes through the turn signal switch on the steering wheel to control the brakes in the back, and that isn't working yet. I may grab these in the morning too to give you a bit better light. We'll see how it goes. But as you can see, the chrome is in extremely good shape, with only a few minor dents, mostly right on the front piece here. It is missing the center T. The glass on this headlight is good. This one's got both lenses. This glass, the top is fine, but there is a crack along the bottom there. This one's got both lenses. Chrome along the side. Let me get them out a little bit. Let me see here if I can get the right angle for the fender. Okay, so you can see obviously some dents and some minor scratches for rust. Oh, on the front, that front piece right there, as you can sort of see, it's all there. It's not really dented, but it is not sitting quite right. I haven't even looked at it. It's just there. Front tires, and well, all tires are weather checked but in good condition. This one is missing one nut and clamp. The bearings have all been repacked. The brake shoes on all four are in decent shape. The brake drum on the passenger side rear is going to probably need to be replaced here, well, re-sleeved here pretty soon. All four brake lines have, all three brake lines have been replaced. The brake cylinders on the front have been replaced. The brake cylinders on the rear have been rebuilt. So we'll keep coming back. There's the driver's side. We'll roll the windows up on the driver's side here in a second. You see that one wiper is missing. There is some note the glass on the passenger side's fine. Glass on the mirror. There's a shot of the back fender, or the back of the front fender. Running board. See, there's the tool. Here. I'll just show you this side. We'll get more detailed on the inside here in a bit. Doors close really nice. Well, a little harder than that, but there's the chrome for the passenger side. Okay, we're back to the driver's side. There is a crack in the corner glass. This door closes just as good as the other one. Again, note, other than very, very minor surface rust, nothing else. That was too hard, but get the point. Spare tire. All four hubcaps. The plates, I will try to get those back on. These go along the frame, sort of skirting the engine. I had to pull them to put the new brake lines on the front. It is a homemade bed. Dually. Homemade tanks. Some of the bolts have pulled up. They've been rusted along the edge a little bit, so, or rotten along the edge a little bit, so this upper sleeve does move. But otherwise, as I'll show you later as I get underneath it, probably tomorrow, the system is, the wood in general is in pretty good shape. So there's the seat. From the looks of it, I think at one point or another it has been reupholstered, because it looks like there's a few pieces that look like foam. You can still see the DiamondT in the floor mat. This is probably the heaviest surface rust I've seen anywhere, and even that is mostly dirt. Even the rubber is still pretty soft. It isn't quite so much in the windshield rubber, but I'll show you that in a second. The odometer does work. I'll take it for a drive and show you that in a little bit. If you want to note the time right now, or the odometer now. See, so there we go. So we got the sealing in. Does have the 4-speed manual transmission. Does have an oil filter. Does have the dome light. This one I haven't even tried looking at it. So it does not come on. Figure I'll show you the windows. There's a little tightness there, but then it pops loose and finishes right up. Make sure it gets in the frame. Comes right down, right on back up. Again, this one's got that same stick. It's a little stiffer and pops loose, slides again. So there's probably something slightly hanging. Then it comes the rest of the way. A common problem is when closing, it hasn't always been closed properly. You can see even there, it's only just scratches and some dents on that heavy steel, easily removed, but it is there on both headlights. Alright, the horn also doesn't work. I have tested a little bit, but I haven't found anything. Master cylinder has been replaced, as you can see there. I don't have the wires hooked up for the brake. There's the oil filter. See the generator. I'll turn it and catch the radiator here in a sec. Breather. And sort of the... I haven't used the gimbal for before, so this is a little new. Anyway. Alright, so there's the top of the engine. Sort of this side. You can see that the plate is still there. The stamps are readable, but none of the, other than the DiamondT in red, nothing else is readable. So yeah, there we go. There's a pretty good shot of what the radiator looks like. Through the venting, this one has faded, but it's still very readable. Carburetor's been rebuilt. The spark plug wires are cracked, but still running and working fine, as you've heard. New solenoid on the starter. Can I get around? See that? There. I think it's in the picture. So it's got the correct starter. Somehow I ended up with a Delco that was stolen. Now you have the auto light with a brand new solenoid. It does have a brand new fuel pump too. I had to replace the lines on that. That is not original. It's barbed with just fuel hose, since the cloth covered fuel line with its reversed fittings were nearly impossible to find. So I got rid of the gimbal, so we'll try the best we can under here. It does have an aftermarket radiator heater, antifreeze heater. There's the tank. The oil through the breather doesn't go in very well, so you can see the drip a little bit there. I didn't have anything long enough to try to feed it in through, and get right there's the lighting through that one. Otherwise it might have gone better. There's the one of the new brake lines. Greased all the fittings I could find. You can see the brakes, or the brakes, the springs. There we go. So there's the other brake line. I don't know if I can swing it around. Rubber on the bolts probably will need some replacement sometime. I haven't noticed anything running it, but you can see that they are worn. Another shot of the starter. Let's see if I can get in here. I don't know if I can get to. I can't see what I'm seeing. So. Transmission. Brake. It's rather dirty. I didn't get down in here and spray. There's the cross framing. The muffler is missing on there. Rear axle. The aftermarket. Ouch. Alright, so the aftermarket originally went across, straight across, rubbing the axle to the T on the other side. So I did reroute this, and I just used some heavy duty zip ties, obviously some hose, some half clamps would look a lot better. Due to the aftermarket fuel tanks, the fuel gauge does not work. And there's the third hose replaced. Oil in the transmission and rear end both been replaced with 80W90 or 85W90. I'll send it in the email. The rear bearings on the rear end have all been repacked too. I had to replace that T there. It is hanging lower than I'd like, but it's still good. Oh yeah, you probably want to see the wood of the frame. As you can see, it's actually in pretty darn good shape. I'm suspecting it's still pretty dang old. And this side of this one is cracked. Split out a little bit. There's the other one, and then the one in front of the tank. Again, the top, the back has a cover that they were covering it with while it was in the shop, their garage. Okay, so here's the top of the cab. And there's the shot of the odometer after a couple circles around our community out here. Okay, I noticed when I was going through the video I missed a few things, so I wanted to give you a better shot of, under the seat what it looks like. Obviously, the battery things aren't the cleanest. I haven't vacuumed, cleaned anything. Through here, you can see some rusting and things like that, but again, mostly just surface rust. Here's some bolts missing. But there's some give this a try. It's probably going to be pretty shaky. A few notes. It is 80W90 that I put in the transmission and rear end. It does call for a different one under normal circumstances out of the original manual. It is non-detergent 30 weight in the engine. I stuck with non-detergent because there was a lot of gunk in the bottom of the fuel filter, or oil filter, and oil pan. So obviously it's been using non-detergent for quite a while, and I didn't want to start plugging everything up. So we'll start this, show you the speedometer and the, so you can listen to the transmission and so on and so forth. Okay, as you notice, there's a few things. The transmission obviously prefers double clutching, definitely on the downshift. I haven't practiced double clutching in 20 years, so I'm not going to make a fool of myself on camera. You can see from the video that the speedometer's working, odometer's working. Engine sounds pretty decent. Transmission, now granted, that was only, you know, low first and second. We didn't ever hit, you know, counting low as a gear. We never hit fourth gear. We have tested it out here. We can't really get up to speed very well, but it sounds fine. There's no missing teeth or any problems in there. Shifts in and out perfectly fine.